Well, yes, Grenada, Carrico, Pidimonic, and the rest of the world, I'd like to officially welcome you to another Mikey Live program, and I'm your host, Mikey Hutchinson. Of course, I'm coming to you on behalf of the team. Let me make sure I fix me call landing. I just need a makeup crew. You know, I have a technical crew landing, but I have a makeup crew, you know, so you have to forgive me if you find the elbow, if you find the elbow wide. The hair need a little, I need a little face puff and things like that. Don't worry, we're getting to that. We're getting there. Anyway, welcome to another program, folks. And of course, we are happy to be here with you every day. I mean, it is not just about telling you things, but it's telling you things in a manner that you'd understand, and not just in a way that is very heavy. Even if it's heavy, we make sure that you can carry that load, so we do it in a way that is light and fun. All right, that's what we're about. If you do not have a sense of humor, it might be a kind of pill to swallow, so be prepared for that. Okay, so with that being said, let's go on, man. Let's see what's making the headlines. Special arrangements for Carrico with regards to shopping. We'll talk to you about that. RGPF, they say that their no-bond policy is still in effect. Western Union to open across the island on Saturday. You know, people were concerned about that. So, we're going to tell you more about that. 10-bed block now in use for the COVID-19 patients. We'll tell you more about that as well. Health Minister to reveal the results of 47 COVID-19 tests that were done on island. So we have that and more to tell you about. It's a critical time for us here in Grenada, as most of the cases, the COVID-19 cases that has been diagnosed and since been in isolation, they are coming to the end of their cycle. So folks, we will be telling you about that as well. So brace all yourself, get ready for the good, the bad, and Mikey. And we also want to remind you that the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of Nawasa. It's also brought to you through kind compliments of the Communal Cooperative Credit Union and Digicel. When we come back, it's going to be real news in Olia Lili Lolo. So brace up, fix up, Olia. We come in good, and make sure all you get all the water and whatever, all you have to drink, and make all yourself comfortable. You know what I mean? Because this is where it all happens, and we don't want all you to be getting up when the things start.
At Communal, we are adapting to meet the changing needs of our shareholders and members. Times are changing, and with the changing times comes a whole new way to do business. Our parents may have done their banking a different way. Communal's state-of-the-art online banking and international debit card allows members to do business with great ease. It's like literally having a branch in your very own hands. Need a loan? Apply online from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world, and your request will be dealt with remotely. Want to transfer between your accounts or another shareholder? No wait time for transactions to update. Voila! Who needs receipts when you can receive them via e-statements on your mobile device and save the environment? Not a Communal member? You can join our family today by applying online. At Communal, we see you working hard to ensure that you save, invest, and grow. Communal, join us today. This will be the best financial decision you have ever made. My name is Hollis, Mr. Killamap, and I endorse this message.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Courts, bringing value home.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
we enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call Waggy T Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, grey and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Shivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Granite, St. George.
Alrighty, so we'd like to officially welcome everyone again to tonight's program, and those of you who are with us for the first time, we have this protocol where we welcome you and invite you to continue looking at the program. Don't make it the first and the last. Alright, it's very important that you continue to watch the whole business. Alright, so for those of you who missed it, the first thing that we're going to tell you about is that the government say that they will not spare any efforts in addressing the economic fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic. We have posted this on our website. Of course, we've spoken about it to some extent yesterday, but for those of you who missed it. Now, the government of Grenada is sparing no efforts in addressing the economic fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, this assurance from Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, as he hosted his most recent press conference in which an extension of the 24-hour curfew was announced. Dr. Mitchell said, quote, "The staff at the Ministry of Finance continues to work on rolling out the economic stimulus package, which is designed to help provide a buffer for businesses and workers that have been hardest hit by the crisis." Dr. Mitchell, you had to think about the media too. I know you spoke about it to some extent, but you need to take a closer look, because from my initial investigation, the media houses have been hit really hard. You know that media houses rely on advertisement to generate revenue, and if there's nothing happening in the market, then there are no events taking place and so on, then there's no advertisement, there's nothing to advertise. And so I understand that a lot of the media houses, if not all of them, are hit really hard, in some cases losing over 70% of their revenue. The revenue that usually comes in slashed by more than 70% in many cases. And of course, the media is the fourth estate. It's an essential service, and I am asking, I think that at least there should be some sort of attention placed on the media. I'm just saying, understand? They kind of like balance things off, so make sure the balance is balanced. Yeah, I mean, good. So, going back to this, 14 measures were outlined in the stimulus package announced on March 20th, and some persons are expected to start receiving benefits by the end of this month. Under the stimulus package, qualifying hotels, restaurants and bars and the travel agents will receive a package of their existing payroll. Although the workers are the ultimate beneficiaries of the measure, the application must be submitted by the business establishment. Qualifying businesses are advised that the payroll support must be used for the particular purpose and not for any other aspect of their business operations. Employees will be expected to certify receipt of payment at the end of each month in which the benefit is applicable. With respect to the income support for public buses, taxi drivers, tourist vendors, and other such identified hospitality-based industries, efforts are being made to contact those affected directly with a view to facilitate payments. All payroll support and income support payments will be by direct deposit to the bank account of qualifying persons and businesses. Yeah, y'all don't worry about my business. I'm talking about others. Don't worry about me. I good. You know I mean, I plant some papaya and some peppers and things like that. I would always land on my feet. Seriously. And if anything, I just go and sell. Anything, I'll see all the boy very back it. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I'm doing that. Listen to me. I will do any job. You know, well, not any, if you don't understand. Understand, right? To feed my family. I don't care. Yeah, so if I have to cut bush, I do it. Notice is hereby given that the next shopping day for Carriacou is Tuesday, 14th April 2020 between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. As a result, boats, motor vessels will leave Carriacou en route to Grenada at the weekend to facilitate the transporting of supplies for the restocking of the shops and supermarkets on the sister isle. Western Union will be open to the public on Tuesday, 14th April 2020 between the hours of 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. Gas stations will be open on Saturday, 12th April 2020 between the hours of 8 a.m. and 12 noon for the sole purpose of serving the essential workers. Please note, the information is specific. The one say Mikey said. I know all already, know all the dangerous too much. This information is specific to Carriacou and Carriacou only. Alright. Good. Only how we looking. We're moving on. Right. The police wanted to know that even if they don't say it, that the no bond policy remains in effect. In other words, every year at this time, persons are reminded that you are not allowed to just burn as you so please. Why? Because everywhere is dry, your fire can get out of hand, and it can cause problems for you and for others, including your neighbors. So the no burn policy is in effect, failing which you could get charged, you could get locked up and all. You understand? Now the fire department of the Royal Grenada Police Force, they sent out a communique in that regard, reminding you of this. The no burn policy is in effect for the entire country. The RGPF has been receiving several reports of smoke disturbances and is calling on persons engaged in this practice to cease and desist from doing so immediately. Persons are reminded that smoke affects the respiratory system, nose, the throat and lungs, and with similar symptoms associated with the COVID-19 virus, it is important that consideration be given to neighbors who may be affected or suffer acute respiratory disease. Now, persons are also reminded that permission is required by law before setting agriculture fires, and that there are legal consequences for doing so without lawful authorization. Section 7 of the Agriculture Fires Act, Chapter 6, and that's of Volume 2 of the 2010 Continuous Revised Laws of Grenada states that any person who sets fire on or procures, aids, or abets the setting of fire on any land without the appropriate permit can be both fined and imprisoned. Besides, Section 1471 of the Criminal Code, Cap 72A, Volume 4 of the 2010 Continuous Revised Laws of Grenada requires every person who intends to set fire or to cause a fire to be set to give notice to the neighbors. You have to give notice to your neighbors. The police will be taking a zero-tolerance approach to the setting of agriculture fires. Now, folks, this is not news, but this is something I try to instill in people because I believe in it. The law of attraction, thought become things. The universe responds to the most dominant thoughts in your mind. Okay? Again, thoughts become things, and the universe responds to the most dominant thoughts in your mind. We are in the month of April. Now you do the math, right? And also go back to our history. And you would see that in previous years, we would have had several fires, whether it's residential, bushfire, fire. The year started that way anyway. But once our focus moved from every other thing that is or apparently the norm to something totally different, which is the COVID-19, things that happened and seemed to have been accidental or seasonal just disappear. Tell me a lie. Tell me a lie. Other things. People who used to have all kind of pain, all kind of sickness, all kind of customs and norms that they could not have lived without or with, is seeing a reverse in that cycle. I ain't making it up. Thought become things. The universe responds to the most dominant thoughts in your mind. So what you think about most becomes a part of your reality, for better or for worse, like it or not. Western Union to open across the island. The Western Union will be opened on Saturday, April 11th from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. Caronage, Grove, Grenville, Sutter's, and St. David's all will be open. Now the Bruce Street and Grandlands branches will remain closed until further notice. And that's it right there. All right, we're moving on. How are we looking for time? We're going again. All you hear, small man? They get trouble. What? I get trouble. Don't I get trouble today? You like a wire boy? What? How would a man see why he pulling? Anyway, 3 of the COVID-19 cases are currently in the intensive care unit, and that's according to the Health Minister, Nicola Steele. He facilitated a press conference today and revealed that information.
Just to give another update with respect to our cases at present, when last we gave information to the public, 2 of our 12 cases were in our COVID isolation unit because they needed hospital care based on the symptoms that they had. Regrettably, I have to announce 1 more of the individuals is now also at that COVID facility because that person is in need of further medical attention or hospital care. So we have 3 of our confirmed cases in hospital right now at our COVID ICU unit. As a result of that, we have moved all patients and the team up to the 10-bed facility. This is the first time that any patient or any of the team would have been occupying that 10-bed facility. I know that there have been malicious comments circulating on Facebook or otherwise. This is the first time that any of the patients or any of the individuals doing the actual treating have occupied that 10-bed facility. Our frontline medical staff continue to provide human service, as well as the Royal Grenada Police Force and other members of the Central Service, and I want to take this opportunity to again thank them and to ask you, individuals of the nation, to also show your appreciation wherever possible.
Yes, I man, yeah, they working. I still get injured. I don't know if I still get injured. Yeah, big up still. Anyway, we are moving on. You would have noticed that he mentioned a 10-bed facility, right? So let's just get into that now. A special block, the private block of the General Hospital has been designated for the COVID-19 patients who require such care. They have moved all the patients currently to that facility.
We continue to receive more and more equipment daily, but we do now have the original conversion of the private block, and also based on normal conditions, a 10-bed facility as well to deal with COVID patients, which under emergency conditions can be converted into a 14 to 15-bed facility. We now have...
Thank you very much, all right? We are moving on. Okay. So, Olia, the next thing that we have to tell Olia about, boy, the health minister in his presentation today revealed that they have done a significant amount of testing. In fact, it's more testings than they have done throughout the entire period since we had our first case of COVID-19. Okay? Now, 47 samples were taken and is currently being tested, the result of which will be revealed at a press conference tomorrow by the health minister, right? Now, in the last press conference with the Prime Minister and other officials from the Ministry of Health, they made it known to the nation that Grenada now has the capabilities to test on its own for COVID-19. And so this is news that is welcomed. In fact, no longer do we have to send the test down to CARFA, but we are doing this right here.
We now have the ability, as was announced, the ability to test on island. We started that aggressive or more aggressive testing process as of yesterday, and as we speak we have 47 samples pending results. We expect to get those results overnight, and we'll announce the results of those tomorrow. Those results come from the individuals who were or may have been in contact with our 12 confirmed cases, and a couple of them are individuals who may have shown symptoms that cause some reason for concern to allow the team to do testing. So there are 47 tests pending in the next 24 hours. To give you a comparison, that is more than we have done in the last 3 weeks. So in this last 24-hour period, we have accelerated the testing process because of the ability to get testing results here on island.
All right, so we await the results. Listen, my belly does boil when I hear them things. Anytime it comes to testing and results, my belly does boil. Yeah, I beat it. Anyway, lady that talk me. Now, interestingly, most of Grenada's COVID-19 cases are ending their 14-day cycle. Yes, and so tests will be done, and we would know how well they would have recovered, if they recovered at all, and so on. So it's an interesting next few days for us here in Grenada and our COVID-19 status.
Most, if not all, of the individuals to date who may have been or were exposed to our initial cases have gone through, or all within the next couple of days or so would have completed their 14-day quarantine. This allows us as well to do further testing there. This was one of the reasons why we had the aggressive restriction on movement in the past week and for the week coming. That is to make sure that the status quo, whatever it is, remains as much as possible the same and does not get any worse while we put all of our other systems in place, specifically the ability to test more aggressively, to continue to follow up on what we refer to as contact tracing, also to make sure that every aspect of our isolation unit or ICU unit, COVID ICU unit, is also up and ready.
Thank you very much, Minister. We are moving on. So, Olia, today, no ordinary day in Grenada. It was, in fact, the first gas day for a long time. Yo, so people went out in their numbers to get their gas. Listen, this morning,
So, folks, this is True Blue.
a gentleman did this video and he started making the wrongs. In fact, I think that's a video that's breaking the internet right now. Now, there are all sorts of videos that came out this morning giving people an idea as to what the traffic situation was like as it relates to persons waiting for gas. And when we thought we saw it all, then came this gentleman with this video. Ladies and gentlemen, Morris Bishop Highway. Let's go. Let's go. Who's counting the vehicles? Somebody count. Here we go. We're going still. We're going still. Would you imagine this? And that's from just one angle. You patiently waiting for the gas. And remember, persons are not allowed to get out of their vehicles, so you should stay there. Well, you look like AC walking, but AC blasting. You see all these vehicles, their glasses are up because around that time, so hot. Would you imagine what it was like for some people?
So this is true.
Yeah, no. Sitting down in this. Well, according to Minister, he said later on in the day, well, you can't be everywhere at the same time, but he said, right, that by 10:30, the congestion was eased to some extent, and the persons were able to do their ting easier. But nah, man, I hope somebody taking note of all this so we could make a documentary after that to show how things were during this period of COVID, during the COVID war, not the Cold War, during the COVID war. What? Nah, man, you crazy? Somebody here, that Photoshop. And folks, let's say that again. This is only one angle. What about the other people coming from the other direction in the traffic? And from the other direction, so we have people coming out from the Mon 2 direction. We have people coming out from the Valley direction. We have people coming out from the Grand Dance Montrouge direction. Anyway, and possibly the Limes. Well, let me leave that talk there. But we spoke to the Commissioner of Police, the cop, today, press conference, and asked him what was his assessment of today's gas day.
I know there have been a lot of responses as to why a gas day. And then the number of vehicles that we have into the country, I think this created an excellent opportunity for all to get a view as to how significant our population of motor vehicles has grown. And the challenges that our traffic department has in maintaining that. So I hope going forward, let me plug this in, Mikey, I hope that going forward, now that we know the magnitude of vehicles, we will be a little bit more considerate in parking by the roads and causing places where we can obstruct traffic. But I was impressed overall today with the compliance of the motoring public, and I need to say that. By and large, we had a few persons who did not cooperate as intended, but those were in the significant minority. But by and large, persons sat in their vehicles, wait patiently to receive their fuel. And I want to say why I think the committee had to give that permission as well. We must understand in this context, it can have a serious security repercussion if we fail to provide means by which people can have access to food and services when it is critical. One of the issues we were challenged with is that individuals had to move around to be able to access food services because not everyone is close to a shop. We also have to recognize a situation where medical emergencies is a critical factor, and we need to make sure that individuals, should in case anyone has a medical emergency at home, that they do have the ability to move. We recognize over the period of time with the shutdown that some persons were running low on fuel. So the decision was made to facilitate this, cognizant of the fact that when we implement our parish boundaries and our checkpoints on the inside, along with our roving patrol, that by the end of that period we can safely get everybody back at home. But more importantly, it also helps persons have the peace of mind that if they have any critical emergency, they also have the ability to respond.
Thank you very much. All right, as we continue to move on, how are we looking for time? I had quite a bit of stories to tell you, but it appears that we are running out of time. Okay, a police officer in St. Lucia contracted the COVID-19. I don't think I have the time to go through that in its entirety for you. All right, just to say that it has happened. And as well, popular dancehall artist Dexter Daps has been arrested. The details surrounding his arrest is still sketchy. All right, but he's gotten himself in a little bit of trouble. And so that's as much as we can tell you for now. Again, we are not able to go down into details with that one because we are running out of time. I have a little entertainment piece for you with a twist, so here goes.
But who knocking on my door at this hour? Mopio?
Yes, ma.
But what time you leave the house?
You were sleeping on the chair, so I didn't want to disturb you. So I go by the beach with box juice there. I just take him for a walk and ting. Open there.
In all that virus that's spreading all over the place, you go on beach? But to me, your friends tell you to stay at your home.
Yeah, but I go by myself. I kept the distance really social.
But you go in the shop. I see you have a bag in your hand.
Yeah, ma. I buy a packet of Brix biscuit. Open there for me,
You're not coming in my house. Jamais. T'es tout wed.
Ma, please. The curfew starting just now. I want police to catch me outside.
Oh, now you know about home? I feel like leaving you there for the police to arrest you. I go let you in, but you have to follow the protocols for home entry.
Ma, not that again.
Look. It's for your own good and my protection. Take off your shoes.
Yes, ma, I do it.
Disinfect that dog paws. You know what? Just bathe the dog. Take off your outer clothing and put it in a laundry bag.
But I even have inner clothes. Everybody go see me.
Nobody will see you cause everybody inside their home. TA.
But ma,
TA.
Yeah, boy, Mopion. You really looking hot there?
You got to shut up.
Wipe your phone and glasses with the alcohol I gave you. Put your wallet and your small things in the small box. Wipe down that bag you have there with the bleach. You don't have gloves? You lucky. I would have tell you throw them. Don't touch nothing in my house, Nothing. Now go and bathe. Make sure you wash all the exposed areas well. You must be saying I wicked, but it's for your own good. I just trying to reduce the risk of spreading sickness. But wait, you pray this morning?
No, ma.
Oh, Father, put a hand. You ain't know that in them times we need the help and guidance from God? You have to pray for God to give us strength. I don't know what to do with you again, boy. Mop your go and bathe and come here. We will sit and pray together. Don't feel you escape, You will have to explain who give you permission to go on the beach.
But ma,
Shut up! Mopio, I just realized you go out there and you did not cover your face with a mask. Tony, Mopio, stay in your room for the next 2 weeks. 14 days quarantine.
At least I don't have to wash dishes and do chores for 2 weeks.
That sounds like a Grenadian child being scolded by a St. Lucian mother. You know, at the end of it all, what you say? At least you don't have to wash wares. All right. Okay, child. Okay, child. So, folks, that was our entertainment piece for today. And before we take our break, we have some very important information for you regarding our status and our history here in Grenada re the COVID-19.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Courts, bringing value home.
At Communal, we are adapting to meet the changing needs of our shareholders and members. Times are changing, and with the changing times comes a whole new way to do business. Our parents may have done their banking a different way. Communal's state-of-the-art online banking and international debit card allows members to do business with great ease. It's like literally having a branch in your very own hands. Need a loan? Apply online from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world, and your request will be dealt with remotely. Want to transfer between your accounts or another shareholder? No wait time for transactions to update. Voila! Who needs receipts when you can receive them via e-statements on your mobile device and save the environment? Not a Communal member? You can join our family today by applying online. At Communal, we see you working hard to ensure that you save, invest, and grow. Communal, join us today. This will be the best financial decision you have ever made. My name is Hollis, Mr. Killer Map, and I endorse this message.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents? Then call the tent experts at Waggy T Tent Rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes. From as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grand Anse, St. George. We are Grenada's tent people.
Experience convenient and affordable learning with online and blended higher education programs from the UWI Open Campus. Access our quality assured degrees, diplomas, and continuing and professional education programs at a pace designed to suit your lifestyle. Ask about our prior learning assessment, which credits previous learning experience and fast tracks the completion of your degree. Own your future. Apply today. For more information, visit www.open.uwi.edu. The UWI Open Campus, opening doors to life-changing learning.
To deal with the dry season and the current demand for constant hand washing, you require adequate water storage. Tough times require smart solutions. Invest in a water tank that meets the needs of you and your family. Visit On The Spot Hardware and select the tank that suits your needs. Don't have the cash? No problem. Talk to us about the alternative payment option. And don't forget, we deliver right to your doorstep. On The Spot Hardware, the rock where all solid foundations begin. Okay, folks, this is now time for the National Report.
Health Minister says results of largest number of test samples will be made known soon. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Thursday, April 9th, 2020, I am Rikisha St. Louis. Grenada is now awaiting results of its largest number of test samples, which are now being conducted on island. Minister for Health and Social Security Honorable Nicholas Steele announced on Thursday that 47 samples are pending results, which are expected within the 24-hour window. He was speaking during the Ministry of Health's regular update briefing to the general public. Minister Steele says the pending samples all came from individuals who may have come in contact with the 12 confirmed patients.
We now have the ability, as was announced, the ability to test on island. We started that aggressive or more aggressive testing process as of yesterday. And as we speak, we have 47 samples pending results. We expect to get those results overnight, and we'll announce the results of those tomorrow. Those results come from the individuals who were or may have been in contact with our 12 confirmed cases, and a couple of them are individuals who may have shown symptoms that caused some reason for concern to allow the team to do testing. So there are 47 tests pending in the next 24 hours. To give you a comparison, that is more than we have done in the last 3 weeks. So in this last 24-hour period, we have accelerated the testing process because of the ability to get testing results here on island.
He says 3 of the 12 confirmed patients are now being treated in the ICU facility after developing complications related to the coronavirus.
We continue to receive more and more equipment daily, but we do now have the original conversion of the private block, and also based on normal conditions, a 10-bed facility as well to deal with COVID patients, which under emergency conditions can be converted into a 14 to 15-bed facility. Just to give another update with respect to our cases at present, when last we gave information to the public, 2 of our 12 cases were in our COVID isolation unit because they needed hospital care based on the symptoms that they had. Regrettably, I have to announce 1 more of the individuals is now also at that COVID facility because that person is in need of further medical attention or hospital care. So we have 3 of our confirmed cases in hospital right now at our COVID ICU unit. As a result of that, we have moved all patients and the team up to the 10-bed facility. This is the first time that any patient or any of the team would have been occupying that 10-bed facility.
COVID-19 coordinator Dr. George Mitchell said the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the RGPF and NADMA, continue to focus on the psychosocial and mental aspect of the population. He said they are moving proactively to develop programs and strategies to deal with problems that these individuals may face.
We charged the entity to look particularly into the psychosocial aspect and mental aspect of the population, concentrating on children, the elderly, mental health patients, as well as persons with special needs. So this grouping with the specialization that we have would develop programs, and I'm talking about innovative programs to reach out to those agrupations, those groups, to ensure that we don't have to reactively deal with issues related to these groups, but we proactively would deal with or as a matter of fact, enact programs that would minimize the effect that this particular situation, this COVID-19, would have on this particular population.
Residents on the sister isle of Carriacou will be allowed to shop on Tuesday, April 14th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Acting Commissioner of Police Edwin Martin made the announcement on Thursday during the Ministry of Health's COVID-19 update briefing. Grenadians were given an extended shopping day on Monday, with the next scheduled shopping days on Saturday and Sunday. Essential workers on the sister isle will also be allowed to refuel on Saturday.
Shopping day in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. The next shopping day will be Tuesday. Tuesday 8 to 4 will be the next shopping day in Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and the Western Union and money remittance there will open also at the same time between the hours of 8 and 1, and shopping will be between 8 and 4. Saturday in Carriacou will also be open for, the gas station will open for essential services between the hours of 8 and midday.
Continuing with the news, the Royal Grenada Police Force and the Nurses Association of Grenada have each received a $5,000 contribution from Surgical Life in Grenada as its contribution to service providers to mobilize response to COVID-19. This US $10,000 contribution is part of Surgical's donation of US $1 million to the government of the OECS, Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad and Tobago. 3 weeks ago, the OECS Commission received US $20,000, which represents 50% of the cost of infrared thermometers used by those countries to assist in detecting members of the population that may be at risk of developing COVID-19. Ms. Cherylan Boca Bethel, branch manager for Surgical Grenada, says they are happy that they can also assist at the local level.
We understand the risk that you take on a daily basis to ensure that our nation is healthy and safe. And we want you to know that Surgical cares. We are in this together.
On behalf of the nursing department, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to the Surgical family for their kind and timely gesture. At this time of global crisis, our nurses, being on the front line, need all the support they can get. Knowing that organizations like Surgical exist who did not wait to be asked, but saw the need to be proactive in their response must be applauded. So once again, we wholeheartedly thank you.
Ms. Cherylan Boca Bethel, branch manager of Surgical Grenada, followed by Mrs. Norris Martin Charles, director of nursing services. This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
Protect yourself and our community from COVID-19. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water are not available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 70% alcohol. Use a tissue when blowing your nose, sneezing, or coughing. Immediately discard the tissue properly and wash or sanitize your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Let's do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. To stay up to date, visit the Government of Grenada's webpage or the Ministry of Health's Facebook page. For more information, contact the Ministry of Health's hotline by calling 53-VIRUS. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by the Ministry of Health.
Welcome back. The government of Grenada is sparing no effort in addressing the economic fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic. This assurance from Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, as he hosted his most recent press conference in which an extension of a 24-hour curfew was announced.
The staff at the Ministry of Finance continues to work on rolling out the economic stimulus package, which is designed to help to provide a buffer for businesses and workers that have been hardest hit by this crisis. Fellow Grenadians, Caraconians, Petite Martinicans, we hear your cries, and we are working steadfastly to ease your pain.
14 measures were outlined in the stimulus package announced on March 20th, 2020, and some persons are expected to start receiving benefits by the end of this month. Under the stimulus package, qualifying hotels, restaurants and bars and travel agents will receive a percentage of their existing payroll. Although the workers are the ultimate beneficiaries of this measure, the application must be submitted by the business establishment. Qualifying businesses are advised that the payroll support must be used for that particular purpose and not for any other aspect of their business operation. Employees will be expected to certify receipt of payment at the end of each month in which the benefit is applicable. That story just ended the national report for today, Thursday, April 9th. Let's recap the top story. Health Minister says results of largest number of test samples will be made known soon. On behalf of the entire news team here at the Government Information Service, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
All right, thank you very much, Rikisha, and everyone else who's part of the production of the National Report. And we will have another for you tomorrow, God's willing. Let's just say hello to Ian, Camille, Trevelyan, Lisa, Ventris, Veron, Destiny, Charmaine, Deborah, Peter, Suzette, Rose, and everyone else, Mishi and Martin. Mom, Linton and Merrill, Mr. McQueen, Zilon, Mike, and Micaiah, and Kemisha, and Doris, and Zaka, and Joyous, and Robbie. Yeah. Is it Tropical Gardens? I think it is. Is it Tropical Gardens or Tropical Creation? Tropical Gardens, I think it is. The name of the agriculture shop that's located in Guelph. You know, right? So for your manual and all these things that you need, they'll be open on Saturday. All right. So folks, again, Tropical Gardens will be open, and by Brenty and them day, good. Opposite where Chloe used to live. Well, you know what I'm talking about anyway. So check them out. All right, guys. Big up TA and the crew as well. So all you make sure that on Saturday when it's time for shopping, you check them out, because you know you have to organize your food and thing for your pets and things like that, your feed and everything like that. So cool, right? And your manual. We have exhausted our time. That's it for me for tonight, and I wish you all the best. I wonder if I'm coming on tomorrow. I doesn't come on holiday now. Okay, look, yeah, good. Anyway, we'll see. All right, we'll take it. Let's see. We'll play by air tomorrow. I'll inform you on the page. All of me here getting long, Jed. You don't want to stay. You don't want to behave yourself. Yeah, if you see how long again, you know what I mean? Yeah. And given the fact that that hair has been done indoors, I don't want to see them. Anyway, let that talk there. Yeah. So anyway, we'll touch base again. All right, guys. I wish you all the best, you and your family, until we meet and speak again. Let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, Ja! No! Good night, everyone, and God bless you and your family. Don't forget to wash your hands every day. Keep your hands from your face. All right? Don't put your dirty hands in your face. Wash it first. God bless you. Have a good one.